overall the games happened Wednesday night. We got 6 games, so not a lot of games. This is the day that we want to stream a lot of the guys. You know, Celtics, Nets, those teams had a back to back. The Mavericks had a back to back Tuesday, Wednesday. So now that they play their back to back, you could consider dropping them, pick up new players. Especially for the Celtics and the Nets, really they have just one game in the next 3 days. A lot of teams, a few teams have back to back Thursday, Fridays. So I'll look into that. The Clippers, the Denver Nuggets. I'll be thinking about dropping the Grizzlies. They got a back to back. Magic, Sixers, Kings, Raptors. All those teams have a back to back coming up today and tomorrow. So I'll be comfortable dropping Nets guys and dropping Celtics guys after today. Let's talk about the first game. The Wizards losing to the Atlanta Hawks again. So they haven't clinched for the Wizards. They have not clinched a play-in tournament spot, but they're very, very close. They just need to win one game, and they need the Bulls to lose one. Either way, and the Bulls they should be playing tonight. Who are they playing? The Bulls. They're playing the Raptors. They should probably get the win. Their season is on the line, right? But we'll see what happens after today. But the Wizards, they just need to win one game. They lost 2 games versus this Atlanta Hawks team. Obviously, they don't have Russell Westbrook. Bradley Beal again. Russell Westbrook, man, what can you say about this guy? Only 5 rebounds, but 15 assists. Consistently dish out, 15 plus assists in the past 2-3 weeks. 3 steals, 34 points. 75% from the free throw line is totally fine. I am totally okay with this. And 4 turnovers, it's can't really complain. Alex Len played 24 minutes while Daniel Gafford played 17. So in the past 2-3 games, Daniel Gafford's minutes has not been good. The Wizards, do they have a back-to-back? They don't have a back-to-back. And like I said, if you already have Daniel Gafford and you need the big man stats, you can't just keep riding him. He had 16 points. Give you a huge field goal this game. No blocks and only 4 rebounds. But the field goal is still nice. I should be okay just riding him for the last 2 games if I need some big man stats. Rui Hachimura had played 30 minutes. Not interested in him. Alex Len is just one game. He grabbed 10 rebounds and 1 block. But we can't trust his minutes. I think we all know that at this point. Davis Bertans, if you need threes this week, sure. He hit 4 threes today. The only thing is they don't have a back-to-back. But, if you use one acquisition on him to get 4 games out of him, I can't hate on it too much. And he brought the other stats too. Had 2 steals and 4 rebounds. But mainly just only a three-point sniper. For the Atlanta Hawks, another great game for all of them. Their back-to-back starts Wednesday, Thursday. So you could potentially drop some of the guys, especially Clint Capella after Thursday. If you don't need big man stats, especially in category leagues, hey, I already win rebound, I already win blocks, I already win field goal. Then what's the point of holding on to Clint Capella? Or vice versa. If you lose these categories for sure, then there's no point. Bogdanovic went off again. Kevin Huerter, not interested. Although like the back-to-back before Wednesday, maybe he was a stream. Maybe Gallo was a stream, but Gallo didn't do anything this game, and he may not even play tonight. Trae Young played well, 33 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, and only 2 threes. 7 free throw line is really good, but the problem is he doesn't hit that many threes. He doesn't get defensive stats and a lot of turnover. Bogdanovic is a way better fantasy guy, especially in 9 category leagues than Trae Young. I know that's hard to believe, but 20 points, sure, right? But he hits way more threes. His efficiency is better, not from the free throw line, from the field. He usually grab more rebound, get way more defensive stats, 3 steals and a block. And then he doesn't turn the ball over as much as Trae Young. Really good stuff. Bogdanovic has been a top 20, top 25 guy in the last month. If you grab him off the waiver wire, he's giving great production. Great production. Clint Capella, 17 points, 11 rebounds, 7 for 7 from the field. That's really good, and 2 blocks. John Collins, had 2 blocks, but everything else is pretty average. Let's look at the next team, the Brooklyn Nets. The big news is Harden came back. That was my bad. I forgot to mention you should keep your eye on him. Like I wouldn't pick him up before this tip off because he was questionable. But depending on when the news came out, I just don't want to take the gamble, like pick him up early, but then he ends up not playing. The Nets do have a back-to-back. Who knows? Harden might miss one game of it. So what I would do is, if Harden is out there on the waiver wire, I would not pick him up now because they don't have a game Thursday, Friday. For Saturday, like after Friday, I'll be very quick to pick up Harden. Because one game of Harden is better than most people's 2 games, to be honest. But they don't have. Realistically, Harden might just play one game for the next 4 days because it was a back-to-back and coming back from the hamstring issues. Who knows? And the last game of the season, who knows what the Nets gonna do? They might just pull all the guys. So there's risk involved. DeMar DeRozan in this game played well. 21 points again. The Spurs gonna be the 10th seed. Going to the play-in tournament. We'll see if they can make it out. Keldon Johnson didn't really play the best. They do have 5 games, so let's see. Yeah, their back-to-back started yesterday, so I wouldn't pick up anybody today. The right play is pick up, a Keldon Johnson, Lonnie Walker the fourth, Patty Mills. Rudy Gay has some risk because he's an older guy that he may not play back-to-backs, but playing 20 minutes he should play both. But all those guys, because they got 4 games in 5 days. Actually, all of those guys become a good stream. Pirtle did not play that well, 2 for 6 from the field, but 9 rebounds, steal and block is still okay. Devontae Murray been putting up pretty good lines lately, especially after Derek White goes down. Derek White, if he were healthy, man, this last week, 5-game week, he could have helped us a lot. 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals for Devontae. The Spurs did score 116 points, but nobody played that high minutes because the game wasn't really close and nobody put up a huge line other than Devontae Murray. Patty Mills is a 3-point streamer that you should probably stream before their back-to-back started. Now it's too late. For the Brooklyn Nets, KD, easy work, 20 minutes. Had 3 blocks. Didn't really do much, but 7 rebounds is still great. 7 rebounds, 7 assists is great. 6 for 6 from the free throw line. 3 blocks and 14 points. Can't expect him to, play 40 minutes and, give you 30 points and 10 rebounds every game. Bruce Brown, I thought, KD's going to miss this game, but he ended up playing 32 minutes anyways. So he could be a stream, with Kyrie out, but then Harden came back, so I just wouldn't touch him. Just too much risks, especially with his minutes with everybody around. But this game, he played well. 6 for 9 from the field, 11 rebounds. 14 points, only 1 block, nothing else. But if we know he's gonna get 30 minutes every night, then he's a good stream. He's a good fantasy player. Blake Griffin played 20 minutes. We will never touch this guy. This season or next season, doesn't really matter where he ends up. I don't think he'll be fantasy relevant again because the teams that have him just won't play him 35 plus minutes or 30 minutes a night. Shaman hit 5 threes. That's it. I don't like him. I think they're just better 3-point streamers out there. Mike James started while Harden came off the bench. We talk about Harden a bit later, but Mike James, not interested in him either. Claxton is showing what he can do. 7 for 8. They do have a back-to-back Saturday and Sunday, and considering he's getting 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes a night lately, and nobody's really just Blake Griffin, right? So we could potentially look at him to stream him end of week if we need big man stats. The field goal is really good this game. 5 rebounds, steal and 2 blocks. Like those are great numbers. If he can give us that, and DeAndre Jordan is basically out of the rotation at this point. So if Claxton could give us 2 games of this, very, very happy. Let's look at the Celtics, man. Celtics, what is wrong? What's up with them? Jaylen Brown was out, sure, but Cleveland Cavaliers, they are. I don't know. It's another bad loss for the Celtics. They could potentially compete for the 4th or 5th seed a week ago. Now, if they lose the next 2 games, they could be the 8th seed. They could be the 9th seed. If they lose both games and Hornets and Pacers win out, really, not good. Evan Fournier, in the meantime, it was a good stream, especially after the news came out. Before the back-to-back, he would be a good stream. They have another back-to-back on the weekend, so maybe you could potentially look to pick him up on Saturday. Same thing with some guys. I don't know if the Celtics guys, the back-to-back last week, they still need to play because they can't just full out lose the next 2 games and be the 8th seed. So I think Evan Fournier is probably the safest stream on Saturday. But be sure to check the news. Who knows? He might be on the injury report. Jason Tatum, 29 points. Played well. Not so good efficiency wise. 1-3, only 8 rebounds, 2 steals and 2 blocks is really good. 29 points. Tristan Thompson. Robert Williams is out again. Kemba Walker was out. Back to back. This is why I don't just. I don't like Kemba Walker, especially in the playoffs. He's a guy that, for sure he's not on the Kawhi Leonard or Paul George, that kind of like a top 20, 30 guy. We're talking about a top 70 guy, top 60 guy at best. Although in the last month he has been good, top 30, top 40. But I'm just saying on average he's been this season top 60, 70 guy who's going to miss games. That's not good, That's tough because you're not going to get a better... If you're dropping, your opponent picks him up and then he starts playing all the games. But then he's going to miss the back-to-backs. So how much, the value is... I would rather let somebody else have the problem. Especially if I don't need guard stats, I probably just dropped him, earlier this week. Or today, before yesterday. Tristan Thompson could be a stream if Robert Williams continue to be out for rebound mainly. Yeah, but nobody else is we need to pay attention to. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, the big news is Kevin Love really popped off this game. 30 points. I'm sure a lot of people dropped him. I don't really blame them. They had a back-to-back Sunday, Monday, and the Love came out. Love was on the injury report, didn't play Monday, and then he came back and played Wednesday, and then did this. 30 points, 6 threes, 14 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. So somehow you stream him Wednesday, congratulations. Hit the jackpot. This is the best game of his season. Literally every single game he didn't suck, but he didn't really do anything. But again, I wouldn't go pick him up. They don't have a good schedule, and who knows what he's going to do the next 2 games. Probably just does nothing if we have to bet. Jared Allen has been really, really underwhelming. The minutes is fine. Everything is fine. The opportunity is fine, but 10 rebound is okay, but only 1 block again, 8 points. I don't know what's up with Jared Allen the last 2-3 months. He has been flopping hard the last 2 months. Colin Sexton, the counting stat looked okay. 28 points and 8 assists, but and 1 block. Only 1 3, no steals, and very low rebounds. In Colin Sexton style, for Colin Sexton to be a top 50, 60 guy, like the points is there. We don't need more points from him. 22, 23 points. Like points, sure. Like if you can average 26, 27 points, that would be nice. But we mainly want him to see him do other stuff. I doubt he's gonna do it. I don't know. He did improve on last year, the peripheral stats. We'll see if he can do it again next year. Same thing with Darius Garland. Let's look at the next game, the Mavericks. The Mavericks they need to win games. The Western Conference is pretty intense. The 5th, 6th seed. But hey, if you're the Lakers, okay, if you're trying hard to get that 6th seed, you end up playing Clippers in the first round. Versus just be 7th seed and you win 1 game and you get to play Phoenix Suns. I still think Clippers in the playoffs, they're a better team than the Suns. Although their record wise, Suns are better, 2 games better. But hey, I would rather much just play the Phoenix Suns, man. If I'm the Lakers, I would just not trying to make the 6th seed. Let the Mavericks play them. I take the Suns and play Clippers second round. But hey, if they want to play the Clippers first round, sure, because they do have LeBron James and they are the defending champion. So if they have the mindset that hey, we don't care, we're just gonna go out there and try to win every game. We don't really care who our opponents are. But if I were the coach, if I were Lakers, I probably want to just be the seventh seed. Better yet, be the 8th seed. You don't have to play Clippers in the first round or the second round. Naruto Martial, this game, play 30 minutes, had okay game. I I think he doesn't really have that one category that I like. So if you're gonna stream him, you don't really know what you're gonna get out of him. So at this point, I think you should really focus on the couple of categories, and he doesn't really help you. That he's not a category specialist. It's just you don't know what he's gonna give you, and they don't have a good schedule. James Johnson, I think I was wrong about him. I thought he's gonna be a really good stream, mainly the defensive stats. Only played 22 minutes this game, didn't really do much, so I think it's a safe job. Hernan Gomez is a good stream for rebound. I got that right. 10 rebound, nothing else pretty much. But he's very consistent grabbing the rebound. And Jackson Hayes and him, they split the minutes. Jackson Hayes obviously bring more defensive stats. Had 6 rebounds and still in the block. Played 22 minutes. But I would, prioritize like Daniel Gafford over Jackson Hayes, because per minute wise, Daniel Gafford just does more. I feel like Nickeil Alexander Walker. They have 2 more games this week. You could potentially look to stream him on Friday if you want some defensive stats, meaning the steals. You need some scoring. You could look for him. He's gonna be starting. I feel like, and this game obviously not the best. Playing the Mavericks, he was a minus 25, 13 points and a steal. Eric Bledsoe, like I prefer Nickeil Alexander Walker over Eric Bledsoe every day of the week. Lonzo Ball was out. I mean, this Zion and Ingram, I don't think they're coming back. They have nothing to play for two more games, so you could potentially get some good values out of Nickeil Alexander Walker. He's the guy that's most likely to go off for 35 points. For the Dallas Mavericks, good win for them. Porzingis came back and played. Okay, 19 points. This is the problem with Porzingis is per game basis, top 20, top 25. But every single year he misses games. He misses so many games that if we're gonna take him 4th round, even 4th round, right? Because per game wise, he's for sure is better than a top 40. Like he's very comfortable with top 40. But it's just he misses so many games. He came back, played 22 minutes, good line, 19 points and a steal. If he's out there on the waiver wire, let's see. I'll be looking to pick him up. They just had their back-to-back, but I'll pick him up Friday. He's a big man that can block a lot of shots, grab a lot of rebounds, but he also hit threes. So that's good. Dorian Finney-Smith had 9 points. Their back-to-back is over, so you could drop a lot of those guys. You could keep Kid Harder Jr. because he really give you points and threes in good volume. This game again, he's been on a tier. 27 points and 3 threes. Really, really good stuff. Like I said, they have 2 more games. I would play him at least Friday and Sunday, sure. The volume of points and threes he give us is pretty good. Luka, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 33 points. And he took 15 threes. Hit 7 of them, that's pretty good. But again, no defensive stats. His defensive stat has been non-existent. I just feel like in the last month. This is the problem with Luka. Again, no defensive stats. The county seller, 85th ranked player in the last month. 1 steal and 0.4 blocks. Okay, that's better than I thought. But the past 2 games, he has not been giving us any defensive stats. This is going to be a problem for Luka, in the years to come. His free throws, high turnover, and no defensive stats. So he was getting drafted in category leagues. He was getting drafted top 5. That is just crazy. Don't nowhere near. Don't get him. Like maybe 2nd round, I would maybe think about getting him because the county set do look really good. The rebound, the assists, the points, the threes. But again, no defensive stats, bad free throw, high turnover, all those things. It's a headache. But if you're punting certain categories, if you're punting turnovers, if you're punting free throw, pair him up with Russell Westbrook, like you're gonna win rebound and assist pretty consistently, and he also give you a lot of points and threes. So yeah, just gotta build him right. Have a team around. Norman Powell. The next game is the Portland Trailblazers. Wow, I looked at their schedule. They had a tough schedule coming up. They played the Jazz. I think they also played 2 tough teams, but statement win right off the gate. They want to be the 5th seed. They don't want to be the 6th. 5th seed, you play Denver Nuggets, which is obviously a lot easier than playing. But the interesting thing is the Clippers, There's 3 games left for them to play. They have a back-to-back coming up. The LA Clippers. Actually, today and tomorrow. So Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, I feel like they're going to miss 1 game. Could they potentially fall down to 4th seed? That is interesting. Norman Powell played 38 minutes, didn't really do much. This is the Norman Powell we know. Next season, if he stay on the Blazers, I feel like maybe take him last pick, and then try to sell high if he goes on a hot shooting streak. That will be my strategy. I wouldn't draft it. Like the upside is pretty limited. I feel like unless CJ or Damian Lillard get hurt. Robert Covington had 2 steals, 7 rebounds, but continued to be bad. Playing alongside Nurkic. Next season, if he's still on this team, Nurkic still on this team, and both healthy, I don't think I want to get Robert Covington. He has top 10 upside, as we can clearly see. The 2 months that Yusuf Nurkic was out, he was a top 10 guy, top 15 guy. But since Nurkic came back, he's been really, really bad. These type of guys, if they don't get the defensive stats, where's his rank? Yeah, 99th rank playing the last month. I don't think I want to take him in the top 5 round, first 5, maybe 6th, 7th. I will look at him. I know the sample size is pretty small in just 1 season, and Nurkic only played maybe half, not even. But Robert Covington does not put up good stats playing alongside Nurkic. Nurkic, meanwhile, efficiency is really, really rough. But this is what he can do. 15 points, 6 assists, 3 steals, and 4 blocks. This is why people were drafting him in the 2nd round. But this is probably where his ceiling is. Bubble, he was like top 5. I came back and looked at his stats because he was shooting 99% from the free throw line. If we ignore the free throws, he's more like a top 10, top 15 guy. He was obviously massive, overperforming in all the other categories as well. So his ceiling is probably top 20. If you're going to draft him in a 23rd or 24th spot, you're really not getting much value. Next season, I will look at him in 3rd or 4th. I think that will be late 3rd or early 4th. 51st rank playing the last month. Hey, like if I wouldn't draft him in the first 3 rounds, to be honest. Maybe late 3rd. CJ McCollum played okay, 26 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds, and 2 threes. While Damian Lillard, 30 points and 6 assists. Damian just so consistent every single year. Really good free throw again, 7 for 8 from the line. Let's look at the Jazz. Mitchell, the news came out. That's another thing. When the playoff starts, Mitchell is going to come back from the ankle injury. Like, how good is he going to be? Maybe he may not be 100%. Suffered a pretty bad ankle injury. So that means the Jazz, the 2nd seed. Hey, if the Lakers, the 7th seed, they play the Jazz, who's giving the favorite? I don't know. The betting odds probably favor the Lakers, to be honest. Although they have their injuries going on with AD and LeBron. LeBron is still out, so I'm assuming if all healthy, and Donovan Mitchell is not healthy, then Lakers are probably favored. Bogdanovic, had a pretty bad game, but although last week he's been going off, he had a 50-point game, so can't complain too much. Rudy Gobert had a huge game, 20 rebounds, a steal, and a block, but just wasn't enough. Royce O'Neal had 8 rebounds and nothing else. The Jazz, mainly just the only 3 guys that I want to stream for. And like I said, they don't have a back-to-back. Bojan Bogdanovic, Joe Ingles, and Jordan Clarkson. Ingles had 3 threes, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 14 points, and a steal. Like I said, his stats, they don't look sexy at all, but he gets it done. Jordan Clarkson went off again, 29 points and 3 threes, nothing else. This is the Jordan Clarkson. If you need points and threes, another guy. They got 2 of those guys on the team, Bogdanovic. I probably favor Jordan Clarkson over Bogdanovic because I feel like he just consistently, like his shot attempts every single game is very consistent. Sometimes Bogdanovic is not aggressive because he doesn't have the ball in his hands. Jordan Clarkson is going to have the ball and he can pull the trigger whenever he wants. He's going to get his every single game. Bogdanovic not so much. That's it for this game. Let's go to last game of the night. The Lakers beating the Rockets. I mean, hey, a win is a win, and I believe this game LeBron and AD none of them played. So the gamble paid off. Hey, bad Rocket team, we could win without AD and LeBron, and they did. Jason Tatum was in personal foul. He was in foul trouble. So he only played 22 minutes. I would still hold. They don't have a back-to-back like many teams, but Jason Tatum is probably good enough for you to play him on Sunday. Because he's been playing 35 minutes. Same thing with Kenyon Martin Jr. Really, really good. 20 points, 3 block shots. Yeah, we love him because he blocks shots. His free throw is rough. He probably doesn't get all that a lot of assists either. But field goal is good. He hits threes as a big man. Grab rebounds, we know that. Doesn't turn the ball over, score some points, and block shots. I mean, can't say enough about this guy. If you stream him this week, well, he's 88th ranked player. But let's look at last week, the 3 games. He is definitely 19th ranked player. Realistically, he's a top 30 guy, playing 35 plus minutes on this Rockets team. So really, really good. Kelly Olynyk, again, really good. 5 personal fouls. If he didn't commit 5 personal fouls, he would have played 37 minutes, and he would have, who knows, he might go for 30 against this Lakers team. 8 assists, 2 steals. Look at that. Rebound, 4 threes, 8 for 10 from the good efficiency everywhere. Man, Kelly Olynyk has been really scary. Next season, if he's on the Rockets, I would. He's not a big name. We all know that, and the minutes is because he's not a franchise player, right? So he could potentially lose minutes. The minutes is not secure. But he's a guy that, hey, once pick 100 comes around, I guess I'll take a flyer on him, quote unquote flyer. And if he starts the season hot, I would look to sell him. I think that would be my strategy with Kelly Olynyk. But who knows? We don't know where he's going to be end up. But we do know that if he gets 30 to 35 minutes a night consistently, he could be a top 50, 60 guy. Kyrie Thomas, our guy, he finally started and he flopped. 37 minutes, 2 for 12, but had 11 assists and 1 steal. I would continue to. If you don't have him on your roster, I would stream him. I will pick him up Friday. If you already got him and you need some guard stats, I will continue to have him on my team. I wouldn't drop him because the upside is too high. As we can see, before this game, he was number 1 ranked player, right? And this game, Armoni Brooks went off 36 minutes, but we've seen this guy play on the Rocket team for a few games. This is the only good game he had, so I wouldn't go rush and grab him. But Kenyon Martin Jr. is a must roster. Kyrie Thomas, if you need guard stats, sure. For the Clippers this game, Taylor Horton Tucker. I guess that's why they didn't want to trade him. Huge minutes, 36 minutes. Probably he was a good stream before Tuesday. He was getting a decent amount of minutes. And this game obviously benefited because LeBron and AD are both out. If LeBron and AD came back, I don't know if he would play 37 minutes. He was playing really well and putting up great lines, like 10 assists and 2 steals, 23 points. That's why but I just feel like his minutes is inconsistent, so I wouldn't go and grab him, especially after their back-to-back. Kyle Kuzma went off as well. 19 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and still in a block. Bad from the free throw line, but we know Kyle Kuzma is inconsistent. He's just as likely to have, 12 points and 5 rebounds on bad efficiency and nothing else. Andre Drummond played 22 minutes, 10 rebounds, 20 points. Pretty good game against a bad Rocket team. If you need rebound, you could stream him. They have another back-to-back Saturday and Sunday, but they don't have a game for next two days, right? And Montrezl Harrell actually played 26 minutes as well. Again, good field goal, but nothing else. That's it for all the games. I will see you guys tomorrow.